Good morning. Hello, hello. How are you? Hope you guys are well. I am well on this very bright, sunny day in my world. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol and how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. I really appreciate it. And thank you for showing up. It's nice. So, uh, today, several weeks ago, I started just making this, I'm just calling it a weekly support chat because that's the whole reason for Go Keto with Casey existing is to support, share my experiences, and help bring people together to share their experiences, to get support, to vent, ask questions, offer support, whatever it might be. So, today's general topic, and this will be attendee driven. So if you have another idea or something, we can talk about just about anything. Today's general topic is how to do this when you feel like you're on your own. And I have some thoughts on that. So, first of all, let me share with you how I learned and have practiced the ketogenic protocol for now over 10 and a half years. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net. Net carbs just means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, limited amounts of full-fat dairy. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Challenging. Stop eating when you've had enough. Equally challenging. And I've added be patient and persevere. That's it. No magic, just physiology. For me, anyway, it works for me. There are many paths that can lead to the same destination. This works for me. All right, let's dive in and see who all is here. First of all, can you see and hear me? I hope you can. Okay, Cynthia writes, good morning, Casey and everyone from Williamsburg, Virginia. Beautiful place. Cynthia writes, I have a question maybe you or someone in your group can answer. I'm 67 years old and started out needing to lose around 30 pounds, not to be considered overweight on the BMI chart. I've almost completed 16 weeks. Yay! A round of applause. Scale loss is so slow, around 6 pounds the first week, now usually 0.2 to 0.4 pounds per week. Is this typical, being over 60 years old? Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think it necessarily has to do with being 60 years old. You had 30 pounds to lose, and let's back up a little bit. That BMI chart is ridiculous. It was never intended to be a health measure. You can Google NPR story on BMI is useless, something like that. Like list 10 reasons why it's not shouldn't be considered. So let me back up and ask, you said to be not considered overweight on the BMI chart. Are you otherwise healthy? Do you feel good? Are you in general, fitness? Are you happy with yourself? So let's put aside the BMI chart. But 30 pounds, frankly, is not that much to lose. I'm 115 and a half pounds lower than my heaviest weight that I know of. So let's bring this back. But 2.4 to 4.4 pounds a week, perfect. Perfect. When I started this and I was actively losing, I lost 47 pounds the first year. 47 pounds in 52 weeks, which means on average, I lost less than half a pound a week. Then it 2 more years to lose the remaining 50. I didn't care. I was so thrilled that I felt better, that my mood was regulated, that I was losing any weight at all, that my brain came back. So I say, keep doing what you're doing. Karen in Utah writes, "Good morning, Cynthia. I'm early, so I don't miss it. I'm sure Casey will have good ideas to help you along. I'm 69, and for me, rest, movement, hydration, and page 4 foods keep me in a good range." Thank you, Karen, and that's wonderful. Oops, my screen jumped. Cynthia writes, "Thank you, K Calo UT. Good morning. Yes, I'm staying committed to the foods and I started walking this week. But 0.2 to 0.4 pound loss typical when you're our age, 8.1 in 16 weeks. That's fantastic. That's half a pound a week. Any weight loss person will say that's golden. Keep it up." Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Can see and hear you. Linda Bridges, good morning. I appreciate you being here. I'm on my own. House full of sugar and starch. Okay, we will talk about that. Colleen Sproul, Cynthia, I lost 30 pounds in 6 months at age 69. And I recognize that I'm not a 20 something or a 30 something or a 40 something. And many people that kind of want to speak with or to someone with whom they can more easily identify is great. But there are some young people in this group. There are some gentlemen in this group. You don't have to wait until you're in your 60s to say, "Oh, wow, I got to make some changes." You can start changing right now, even if you're 17 years old. Our weekly video Bible study. Hey, Scott. Yes, can see and hear you. Thank you, Scott. Jay Talbot writes, "Greetings and happy fall from northeastern Oklahoma. Planning to get out and kick some leaves today." Yes, this is going to be an outdoors day for me as well. I've got to cover our pond because the beautiful leaves, that's very colorful this year, just are falling into our pond. It's quite a task. It'll take me all day to get it covered because it's this netting and it gets all tangled. Judy Porterfield, sardines. Good morning, y'all, from Michigan. And Heidi Watts, good morning from Wisconsin, Cynthia. Yes, I take no meds. Blood markers are good. Insulin is 9 HbA1c. Hg, hemoglobin A1c is 5.7, borderline diabetic. Come on, you're good. You're good. And it'll come down. You lay off the carbs, it'll come down. So that is excellent. So let's not worry about the BMI. Many doctors are starting to ignore it. They're just not, this not help. It doesn't help. But really, read the research. The BMI chart was not developed by a health professional or a nutritionist. It was a statistician doing, uh, uh, geographic community studies on populations. It's a mathematical equation. I remember, I think it was LeBron James is listed as obese because of the math. Judy Porterfield, I started walking and gained a few pounds. I'm doing all the same, so confused on what's up. Well, things can, Judy, you're a patron. You hear the daily weight fluctuations that I share with patrons. I have a private patron-only support group that I do videos 5 days a week on various topics. And it can be, I don't know, are you drinking more water because you're walking more and maybe you're retaining a little bit more water? But the scale fluctuates. I'm weight stable. Scale fluctuates. I think the difference between my weight this morning and January 1st of this year, let me think. I'm going to have to think about this. It's probably a half pound difference. But during all that time, it's gone up and down like this. But walking is good for you. So, okay. So who gives a crap? Sorry, potty mouth. What the scale reads if you're otherwise healthy and there's no downside to walking. Right? That's like, I'm going to give up smoking, but I'm afraid to because I might put on weight. And your point, right? It's not a good argument. I know you'll do the right thing. Colleen Sproul writes, amen to not waiting. Just didn't know what I didn't know. I know. Leah Fat to Fitness. Hello from Northwest Arkansas, and Judy Porterfield. This has been about a week now, staying consistent, but at the same weight. And Judy writes, I'm on antibiotics right now is all. Okay, well, there you go. Lots of things can impact the scale. Life Station Express / Linda writes, I fluctuate between 1 to 3 pounds. The scale fluctuates. One of the things I do, and I don't do it because anybody really cares about what I weigh, I started sharing the daily weight fluctuations to my patrons because so many people, I'm not saying Judy is, Judy's pretty level-headed. So many people just get verklempt about what the scale reads, no matter what else happens. The scale. So I want to say I'm weight stable. I keep my carbs very low. I'm a fat burner. Scale fluctuates. It can have to do with medications. It can have to do with, well, sometimes our digestion takes 4 days to things to work through. What our body will retain or shed water as it requires for no known reason. By the way, you long timers and Patreon, this year I have not had the effects of idiopathic seasonal edema, a condition I invented and then self-diagnosed. So that makes me very happy. Colleen Sproul writes, Judy, portion creep on the good stuff? Exercise makes me hungry. Thank you, Colleen, because this is why calories in, calories out, move more, eat less, doomed us. Well, if you're going to move a lot more and exercise a lot more, if you're not burning fat for fuel, if you're burning carbs, you got to eat more. It's terrible. So the feeling like we're in this, that like we're on our own. I have a couple of, it's more than just I'm feeling like I'm on my own because my house is full of sugar burners. I used to feel I was on my own when I was very heavy and trying all those things. For those who don't know, I was obese and morbidly obese for 30 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. I had tried it all. You can go to my blog, link below, CaseyDurango.com, and see some photographs from my heavier time, not my heaviest. Those photos don't exist that I know of, because everyone was under penalty of death if they took a photograph of me in those days. I did the triathlons. I did the food pyramid. I briefly worked with a nutritionist. I belonged to every gym in town. I tried juicing. I tried vegetarianism. And I just got bigger and bigger. I gave up on losing weight. I was unhappy. I was uncomfortable physically and mentally. A portmanteau of the words emotional and mental. I was very unhappy with myself, and I realized that I could probably go on living for another 30 years, but I didn't know if I wanted to, not feeling like that. And I knew I was going to have to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. That was the next thing on my list, my hit parade. So I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I came across the video, white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of Duke University. And that was on January 2014. And the instructions were keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer. Total, not net. If it's not on page 4, don't eat it. He I think said, eat when you're hungry. I changed that to don't eat if you're not hungry, because in my thinking, that's a different message. So anywho, and then I had to be patient and persevere. So, but before that, I thought no one knows what I'm going through. I'm trying it all. I'm on my own. I'm the only person I know that can't get in front of this fat. Very smart person, successful in my career, generally well-liked, I thought. I think I was generally well-liked by people, gregarious, all that stuff. Couldn't get in front of the fat. And I thought, I'm the only one who struggles with this. I'm on my own. Then I came across this, and every time I would try something, I felt like I was on my own. the exercise, the uncomfortableness. I trained for those triathlons, and I was so uncomfortable because asking a morbidly obese person to haul their behind up a hill on a bicycle and run and swim and be in a bathing suit in front of people is not only not necessarily effective, it's punitive. I felt like I'm the only one of this triathlon. It was women's only sprint level triathlon. I like baby triathlon. I'm the only one that feels so bad about myself. Now, the truth is, we are not the only one. We are not on our own. And that's why I started Go Keto with Casey, and I left my previous lucrative career. I didn't feel like I was on my own once I started this. I started almost immediately feeling better. Now, my social circle changed dramatically over time as I lost weight and I had other interests and I started coming back to the person I had always thought I was in my youth. So my husband has always been very supportive, and he does this now as well. He doesn't have a weight issue, but he does it. But you can feel like you're the only one. So you go from being overweight or obese or morbidly obese or simply on medications and not feeling well, and you feel like you're on your own and no one else is trying to help you. Your doctor gives you a hard time. And then you start feeling better. And then you feel like you're on your own again because people look at you like you have monkeys on your face. Oh, wow, you've lost weight. What have you done? I just laid off the carbs. Oh, well. Well, I guess we can't have you over to dinner anymore. It's like, what? What happened here? All I'm doing is laying off carbs, many of which have no nutritional value. Does anyone here really think that chocolate-covered pretzels have nutritional value? Or chips? Or crinkly cut French fries? Or Little Debbie snack cakes? Or ice cream? So all you're doing is not eating non-nutritious food, some of which shouldn't even be classified as food. Pringles are barely food adjacent, okay? But we feel like we're on our own. And technically we are. We are the only ones that can make the changes we need to make. We are the only ones. One of the very few things in life over which we actually have control is what we feed ourselves. Almost everything else is, good Lord, if only I could be in control of things, I would run things differently. The world would be, nicer. But the only thing I can control is what I put in my mouth. I try to control my emotions. I try to control my thoughts. That's very difficult. But that's why we have Go Keto with Casey and other support groups. And I don't know how many people are here right now, but however many people are here right now, we're not the only ones. We're here together. We're offering support. We're asking for support. We're asking questions. And, the basics, is no shame in asking for the basics. Like, what's a carbohydrate? And why all the fuss? Judy writes, Colleen, only a small change like keto pizza with egg, white crust, and all low carb. Oh, egg white crust? And is that what you meant? An egg white crust? Only occasionally, etc., but mostly the same. Maybe sodium, though. So I am very sensitive to sodium. Not because I have hypertension. Thank goodness I don't. But for water retention, I'm very sensitive to it. And so I have to be careful. Not that it's a health risk for me. I just don't like feeling puffed up. Judy Porterfield writes, exactly, Casey. People think you have to eat a totally different way when you just omit the bun from the burger, etc. It's way simpler than people think. Oh, I didn't bring my green book. I have my Go Keto with Casey 12-month journal. And it's a green book, and it's full of stuff and tracking and mood tracking and goal setting and some quotes, hopefully motivational. And one of them is from Confucius, which reads something to the effect of, life is really quite simple, only we insist on making it complicated. And that's true for a lot of things. There are no special kits or potions or meal plans or supplements. I do not take a supplement other than a teaspoon of cod liver oil for the vitamin D every morning. And let me tell you what, 2 checkups ago, I was pretty vitamin D deficient, pretty low. Started taking the cod liver oil, no other change. I'm right in the normal range now. So, anywho, no supplements, nothing. I will sell you a t-shirt all day long. You can see a link to my spread shop below. This is a t-shirt. I'm in reverse. I see an IW. I can, and I will. Go Keto with Casey. Or a mug or a cap or if you see a link to some product down there, it's because I use that product and I really like it. But you don't have to do anything. Just in a mug that reads, I laid off the carbs and laid off the excuses. And that's kind of what you need to do, if this works for you. Maybe sort of everything. Okay, Cynthia, thank you, Casey, and everyone. And good luck, Cynthia. That is success. You're describing success. Keep it up. Just real food, right, Cynthia? Oh, Gray's Custom Trim. Mr. Gray, it's one of the simplest diets to eat. You get used to your regular meals, don't need to think about the food. And Mr. Gray knows of what he speaks. Mr. Gray, if you would kindly share, if you're comfortable doing so, your story. And I've said this before. For one thing, I have a lot more brain space now that I'm not thinking about food all the time, or cooking food, or eating food. I have a lot more time and a lot more brain space. Food used to be, as I've said before, food used to be in the driver's seat for me. It was every day. It was first thing upon rising, what I'm going to eat. And then on my way to work, should I stop and get something else to eat? Take it into the office. I had a really nice office. Sit there and eat the food. And then I wonder what we're going to have for lunch today. Who's ordering out in the office? You know this. There was a lot of car eating going on in my time. It went from being in the driver's seat to, okay, after a couple of months of following the protocols, okay, it's in the passenger seat. I mean, food is there. Well, fast forward, passenger seat to back seat to way back to now food is being towed in a trailer behind me. It's only an issue when I need to eat because I'm hungry, which is less and less. I have had no solid food yet today, and I don't know when I will. Judy Porterfield. Yes, Grays, and hello. Mr. Gray pops in every now and again. Has a wonderful success story. I don't see Judy Tucker here today. She's another great success story from Hopkinton, Iowa. Lost over 155 pounds, and she's a farmer. I'll say it every time. I don't know how you work as an active farmer 155 pounds heavier. Wow. Judy Porterfield writes, Candace V writes, I've noticed restaurants don't even bat an eye when you ask for no bun. Like they care, right? I've never run into a place, even in Colombia, where, rice and beans and yuca and papas y pan de bono y pan de queso y arepas. No problem. At a roadside cafe, and I mean roadside, we were sitting at a table. It was also a tune-up place. I mean, it was a very humble place. So they had like 4 tables, and they had a little kitchen where they made their own sausages, and we were all there, and a group of us. The guy who was the vegetarian had a harder time ordering than my husband and I did. So we got this, no arepa, no rice, no beans, just it was lovely. So you're absolutely right. And don't hesitate. And, the last time we went to a Mexican restaurant, which has been a very long time, we enjoy the restaurant, but frankly, we can cook whatever they cook. We just took pork rinds and waved off the basket of tortillas. Tortilla chips, I actually told myself out loud for decades that I couldn't do low carb because I could not see myself never eating another tortilla chip. And I couldn't resist eating tortilla chips until I did. And now I don't care about them. Candace, yes, writes Judy. I think they're getting used to it with all of us low carbers out there, LOL. Gray's Custom Trim. Anyone can do this. And I always like to say, if I can do this, you can do this. I promise. You got to do it. No messing around with the occasional cheat day or carbing up to shock your system. That doesn't work. Wouldn't work for me. The one little bite, it's not going to be a problem. That you got to do it. I am an abstainer, not a moderator. Many people are in the same boat. Judy Porterfield, Gray's Custom Trim, 100% not as complicated as people make it seem. And Karen in Utah, I actually took pork rinds to lunch at a Mexican restaurant because of your tip. Worked great. And I'm sure the server, so, está bien. Muchas gracias. Okay, what do they care? They give them to the next person. I take pork rinds too. Your autocorrect is the best, Judy Porterfield. Judy Porterfield is the reason we have sardines as a battle cry around Go Keto with Casey. By the way, you can get a sticker below. It says sardines. And it's just like code for awesome. Because during one of the patron live streams, Judy was congratulating one of the other patrons who had, was sharing a success. And she wrote, sardines. Okay. As I read it out loud. She said, dang, darn correct. She was trying to write awesome. And it came out, sardines. Candace B, yes, no more cheat days. One cheat day for me turns into a month or more. Dr. Westman says that. Cheat meal turns into a cheat day, turns into a cheat month. Turns into starting all over again. It's like Sisyphus trying to push that boulder up the hill. Judy Porterfield, LOL. Many, many emoji faces. It still does sardines instead. Oh my goodness. Cynthia writes, yes, I committed to no cheat days. And let's look on the vast, large scheme of things. Do we really think that the 8 minutes of eating that cheat thing, whatever it is, maybe not even 8 minutes. By the way, pro tip, eat slowly. It really helps the satiety signal get to your brain. Eat slowly. But the 5 minutes that you're eating, what are you winning from it? What's the upside? I'm waiting. What's the upside? None. You're going to have feelings of regret, failure, uselessness, and you might bloat and you might it might trigger wanting more and more food. Not worth it to me. Judy Porterfield writes, it's definitely not worth the cheat. Okay, y'all. I'm going to sign off. Heidi Watts. I'm taking pork rinds to my grandson's birthday party later today to go with the tacos they are serving. Excelente. I will sign off. I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. If you can subscribe and hit the like button, it helps my channel. And we can all keep supporting each other. That's what it's about. Helping each other. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Have a great day. I like the hand heart emoji. Okay, friends. Thank you so much. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets. Bye.